Hello, hello, everyone. Tis I, the Tara Bernice, soul care provider and the founder of Color Your Soul, helping you to have necessary conversations around the stories of your life for mental and emotional balance. Yes, mental and emotional balance. I'm just listening to Zach Williams' Rescue Story. I love that song. Yes, love that song. Love it, love it, love it. All right. All right. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just waiting on the page to populate so I can share. Good morning. Who's joining us? Tell me the city and state you are joining us from. And let's see, or the country that you're joining us from. So, and let's see what else. Do you do coffee or tea? So hold on 1 second. I'm gonna do this. Oh, wait a minute. I don't put that there. Hold on 1 second, you guys. I'm doing something here. Good morning, Sonia. How are you? All right. Just having some fun with you guys this morning. Again, I am Latara Venice, soul care provider and the founder of Color Your Soul. And we're here for our morning devotions. Not the first time, early in the morning, I just like to have a conversation a little bit. All right. You said both. You're drinking tea. I do the same thing, Sonia. I drink both. Just depends on what I'm feeling like. Like this morning, I think I want a cup of Earl Grey tea. And I was just looking at more tea this morning. So I think that's why I love tea. The flavors are way more vast than coffee, right? But then coffee, I just love the flavor of it too. So, all right, you guys. So we've been talking about mental health this week, or mental illness, and the holidays are coming up and many of us struggle with different things. And today I kind of really want to talk about managing your emotions. And remember, as you come on, let me know your city, your state. And let me turn off Brianna. All right. Let me know your city and your state, and I'm going to share it. Good morning, Patrika. I'm going to share it out as you hop on. There's a question. If you don't mind answering the question, I would love for you to answer the question. Remember, let me know what city and state you're also chiming in from. I would greatly appreciate it. So let me share this out. Doing these devotions is so fun. All right. Okay. All righty, all righty, all righty. So I shared it out. If you don't mind sharing it out, I would greatly appreciate it. And I think that this topic is something that, people are like really digging, right? I love the topic of talking about mental health. It's really important. And yay, Sonia, we have something else in common, don't we? We love Earl Grey tea. Yes. Patrika said tea. All right. Who else is joining us this morning? Let me know what city and state you're from and answer the question. Coffee, tea, or neither. I do both, right? So I should have said both or neither, right? But I didn't. I had to have a little morning. Yesterday I had a little. Good morning, Tiffany. Yesterday I had a little bit of a mental moment, right? Where mentally there was some incapacitation happening in me and I couldn't move forward, right? My ankle too, I had to kind of sit still all day because I did too much the day before. But I kind of felt myself feeling down. And it's very typical around the holidays for me to feel down. It's typical around the holidays for me to get a little bit sad. I miss my dad, I miss my nephew. A lot. I miss my nephew a lot. My dad, I miss a lot too, but he's been gone well over 30 years. And while I miss him, my nephew's death is so much more fresh. And so it's just a harder time of year for me. And yesterday I also ordered dinner for us, and it's a hard time because this year is the first time that we're not going to all be together as a family. And it's by choice. It's that I'm tired of cooking a bunch of food. I'm tired of seeing my mom not enjoy the day. So I'm, because she's tired, and by the time she sits down, she'd be ready for people to go home. It's just time to do something different. So I had to take some time this morning, really spend some time with God. And a part of that sometimes is me just sitting and listening. It's not me necessarily praying or complaining to him about anything. I'm just sitting and listening. That's how I manage. And I'm listening to music, and I'm just hearing, and I'm just flowing. And when my ankle is not hurting, sometimes I'm dancing to the music, right? That's a way for me to manage any kind of mental incapacitation that is happening with me. So I kind of want to help you guys this morning, for those of you who need it. And I think we'll all need it, because there's always some kind of mental process that happens around the holidays. And is so and so coming, or how's this going to be, are we going to do this, what's the food going to look like? Some of us wear ourselves out cooking, and that can have a mental strain on us as well. So what I did was I kind of looked up some ways to kind of really dig into the part of protecting our hearts, right? Because our key scripture for the week is Proverbs 4:23. How do I protect my heart? How do I guard my heart during this holiday season? How do I do that? What do I do? And so I just kind of want to share just a few things with you that I think are very key in being able to take care of your soul during the holidays. Good morning, Trina. How are you doing this morning? So the first thing is to make yourself a priority, right? So if you do all the cooking, but grandma so-and-so or auntie so-and-so or cousin so-and-so can cook too, why not have them share in it? You don't have to cook everything, and you don't have to cook a great big meal, right? Make yourself a priority. You don't have to show up to that dinner. You can choose to stay home. Make yourself a priority. Make sure that any environment you go into, you set a boundary of making yourself a priority. Yes, serve others. Yes, have fun. Yes, do all of that, but make yourself a priority. Please make yourself a priority. The next thing is avoid feeling guilty, if you don't want to be around, if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're in a place where uh, um, you don't want to be around a certain person or whatever. Avoid feeling guilty because you choose to get up and leave, or because you choose to go out and get some sun, which is a great thing to do because it gives you vitamin D, which is a great energy driver, by the way, especially this time of year. And you need extra vitamin D this time of year, especially for those of us who have typical winters, right? Wintertime tends to be cloudier. You don't get a whole lot of sun. And so vitamin D is very imperative to your system. That's just the herbalist in me coming out, y'all. That's what that is, right? And so you want to make sure that you are not feeling guilty because of the choices you make to make yourself a priority for the holidays, right? And then you want to make sure that you are keeping connected. What do I mean by that? Keep connected to that tribe, that Sandy tribe that I told you about, right? You remember the Sandy tribe I talked about yesterday. If you did not watch yesterday's devotion, make sure you do. Keep in touch, keep connected connected to your sanity tribe. Keep connected to that oasis we talked about yesterday, those things that make you feel good, those things that help your thought processes to flow like Philippians 4:8 says it could, on things that are lovely, or things that are good rapport, on all of those things that are love, things that are joy. You want to make sure that you're able to maintain that and keep connected, right? And then you want to tune into your feelings. This is what I call intentional awareness, a part of being intentionally aware. When I talk about being intentionally aware, y'all, hold on. When I talk about being intentionally aware, I'm talking about being aware of everything that is going on with you at any given moment, paying attention to the environment around you and how it is affecting you and others. Because sometimes it's you going in there with the toxic mess, right? Because you're not dealing with your stuff. So you want to make sure you're aware, being aware of God's presence. Because when you're aware of God's presence, you're able to see his heart for others, right? Yeah. And for yourself. Isn't that something? Be aware of his presence and be aware of your presence and be aware of what's happening in your environment. So keep yourself, know what's happening with you at all times and be honest. Because listen, many of you will be around people you don't want to be around. Deal with that, right? Deal with that. Okay. The next thing is to plan a time out. Plan a time out during that time. Maybe you go for a drive. Maybe you, if you're at home, maybe you do like I do. Sometimes I go to my room for about 30 minutes and just kind of sit in my room for a while. Listen to the family when they're out, when they're hanging out here and eating and everything. And I would go to my room because I would need to, because normally by then somebody would have been to say something that ticked me off. Right? It ticked me off, or people in my family, they tend to tease mercilessly sometimes with certain things, and it's around the holidays when they find teasing most necessary, and I don't. And so I will go to my room because it's irritating to me. So always make sure that you have a time out, right? And then, you also want to do things like, buddying up with somebody. Hey, you want to come over to my house for the holidays? Hey, you want to hang out? Hey, you want to get together a little bit later? So you want to do things like that as well. Take the time to make sure that, again, we go back to the first one, you are a priority, right? If you have a counselor, if you have a therapist, something that I used to do when my son first started going over to his dad's house is we met weekly with his therapist. And so his therapist would always come over like a day or two before he was going to go over to his house. And she would also come over a few days after he came back. So she always made sure to time herself so she was able to get in the session, because it happens here at my house. She was able to get in a session with him at the most at the most opportune time, so that there was healing going in and there was healing coming out, because he couldn't handle being around his father when the court said that he had to be. He couldn't handle it, but the court said he had to be. So that's necessary. That's important that hey, if you know Thanksgiving is coming up, right? You got Thanksgiving coming up. Do yourself a favor. If you have a therapist, make an appointment with them and just tell them what you want to talk about. Or do it after the holidays. For some of y'all, you may need to do it before and after, right? Make sure you're staying connected to what matters, to your sanity spaces and places. And I want to say this, and this is really important. Please don't rely on drugs and alcohol. Don't do that. I mean, I drink wine, right? But wine is not my go-to when I'm stressed, right? Oh my God, so-and-so's getting on my nerves. My go-to is to pay attention to the environment, to see what's happening, to assess it, right? And then pick up the necessary tool for me to be able to be healed in the moment, or to at least deal in the moment, right? Guard your heart, because everything flows from it. That's what Proverbs 4:23 talks about. Your heart matters. Who you are matters, right? You deserve to be in a space of healthy. Stop going into a space of toxic because you think it's the thing you're supposed to be doing. Who told you that? Jesus eliminated himself from that. He's like, I gotta go. Shake it off. Shake it off. Right? Gotta go. Remove yourself. It is okay. It is okay. You need to understand that you don't have to show up where you don't want to show up all the time. That's not an obligation. That's not wisdom either. Right? And then you got to take days to get yourself back on track or back in order. That don't make no sense. See, y'all know my devotions ain't lovey-dovey. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Daphne. My devotions are going to hit you where they need to hit you so that you wake up to the reality of what's necessary for your sanity. Far too many of us go into insane spaces for the sake of others. That is death to your soul. Wow. That's suicide. Y'all better catch what I'm saying. See, when a person commits suicide, they intend to die, right? If you go into a situation that is toxic, it is a suicidal mission. Wow. Let that sit with you for a moment. Let that sit with you for a minute. And I know this well because as a young girl and even as a grown woman, I went into situations thinking, well, you know, this is family. I'm supposed to go. And one day God was like, no, you don't. And I was like, what? You know, but blood is thicker than water. Some of y'all need to catch what I'm saying because you're going to get in a car and you're going to drive to a whole new state, or you might get on a plane, wasting your money to go into toxic environments that mean you no good. That's not love. Man, I need to do a week of devotions on what love looks like. Ooh, that's good right there. Let me write this down. Whew. So if you just hopping on, make sure you watch from the beginning. We talked about how to manage during the holidays. Good morning, daughter. Hey, Hannah. We talked about how to manage during the holidays, right? And I still would love for you to answer the question, coffee, tea, or neither, because we actually come through and read these comments that you all leave, and we connect where we need to. And I'm so appreciative when you share. I really enjoy watching and seeing you all share. So I think I'm gonna start doing a question of the day. Ouch, I twisted my ankle the wrong way, y'all. That means I need to go wrap it. That hurts. Oh, that hurts. Woo, that hurt right there. Man, for those of you who don't know, I fell coming out of a train station on Sunday night. And so coffee, all the coffee, please. I fell coming out of a train station the other night, and it was not nice. And I fell right onto the marbled concrete, plop, just spilled out on it. And not paying attention, trying to look for my son so I could get home to my kids and my mama. So yeah, I fell. And so my ankle is almost there, but it takes a while for a sprained ankle to get itself together. So I want to thank you guys again for joining me this morning. Remember, all devotions are put up on YouTube Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And I'm actually going to be interviewing a couple of ladies over the next few weeks so that we can get back to Color Your Soul interview series. I don't do those regularly. I do those as I am kind of led, or as people walk through different processes of Color Your Soul, I will contact them and ask them, hey, can I interview you, right? So look for that as well. And I'm going to be having my first panel discussion with my team, Daphne Pettis, Ashley Sauls, Teresa Horn, and Brayhan Ham too, because he's a part of the team. So we're going to do a panel discussion about Color Your Soul, about what we're excited about, you know, this is going to be really good. And so I would love for you all to check that out on YouTube as well. So many great things we have coming. I'm just so grateful to God that I've been chosen. right? To lead this charge of helping people to heal their soul from a kingdom level. Yes, from a kingdom level. Isn't that powerful? So I want to thank you guys again for joining me today. I appreciate you more than you know. I don't really have any other announcements. The gratefulness challenge is coming. I had to test the automation and it's finally working. So you'll be able to sign up for that today. Get over into the Facebook group. We start Thanksgiving Day. I'm super excited to start a gratefulness challenge on Thanksgiving Day. It's 14 days of being grateful for your soul, not for your money, not for your family, not for your car, for your soul. It's gonna be great. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you. And listen, I am so serious when I say this. I love you. And I mean that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Bye bye.